Welcome everyone, this is UploadVR and you are watching our Arashi Castles of Sin stream. I'm Zeena and with me today who's going to be the samurai of the day, Jamie Feltham.
I'm trying to check if I've got any peanut butter in my teeth.
Okay. I don't think they had that in feudal Japan, but I don't know about that.
Oh, they definitely did. I don't think they
butter.
really have in Japan now, but they definitely did back then.
They have peanut butter in Japan.
In feudal Japan.
Alright guys.
What they were actually all fighting over. Controlling peanut butter lines.
Anyway, welcome to everyone in chat. Thank you for joining us. Who's in chat? There's Zar. Actually, I just found out that CZAR is Zar, just the same as like TSAR. Didn't know that. Anyway. Space Denzian, Jeff Gassman, Lincoln Clavier, Skiva, the absolute boy. Welcome
Skiva,
everyone.
Congrats on the job, man.
Yeah, congrats Skiva. Skiva just joined the Springboard VR people who just got bought up by Vertigo Games. Very exciting, very cool to see. It'll be very cool to see what you guys are going to get up to. So, yeah.
I'm going to start a full-on new game. That's probably the best idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we see all the cutscenes and all the stuff.
Yeah, let's go for it. Let us know if everything sounds alright. Show Nuff, my first time here live. Thank you so much for joining us live.
Good to see you.
Congrats.
Tell your friends.
Tell your mother.
For every 100th streamer or live viewer, I will remove another item of clothing.
No, stop this! What the hell? Like...
I could be on stream with like 60 items of clothing.
Stop yard sailing, man. Oh, this seems like a very like self-deprecating name. Some fat underground game cat. Welcome. All the same.
It's a game cat.
Yeah, it's a game cat.
And plus, the cat might be the,
Oh god. Alright.
It's a cat.
My phone just responded to that, so.
Alright, just so we all know, for the lovely people, I've turned on smooth turning. That's how dedicated I am to you people, because it's going to make me feel sick as heck. But,
sick as heck.
Rather that than snap turning on stream, which was ghastly.
So FYI,
here's some stories, but it's all the entire game's in Japanese, so you can read and listen to Zeena.
Unless if you speak Japanese, then
in which case, ignore Zeena. How nice is the art though, right? Like starting out, like
it's gorgeous.
As we move into some of these other scenes, you're going to see some really, really, really nice art. A bit about the game if you don't know what it is. So basically it's a stealth game, kind of think like Tenchu in VR, or like the stealth element of maybe Ghost of Tsushima, things like that. And you have like these 6 warlords that you have to overthrow, most of which reside in castles they've captured. So the idea is that you go in, sneak into these kind of wide open environments. It is a linear game, like split into different areas, and you just go from A to B, but like how you get from A to B is very wide and up to you. Yeah, and it's about that, like 4 or 5 hours of gameplay. And
Hold on.
This is Haru.
This is the most important part of the game. When Jamie first loaded this up and was giving it a go, I think we sat here with Haru for about half hour.
And she's so fuzzy, look at her.
Oh.
And look at the, like, this is, see, most games,
yeah.
you kind of like pat and they're like, oh, that's good. You don't get the
reactive ears.
Realistic ear ruffling.
And the thing is, when you're in VR, it's so fantastic. It's so much better than any other animal that I've petted in VR or been near.
Yeah, she's a real highlight.
There's something special. And I think they released a PlayStation blog on how they made Haru, and it's actually based on a real wolf.
Yeah, they went up to like Toronto to like mocap wolves and stuff. Who's that good girl? Who's that good girl? Wanna catch a ball? Wanna catch a ball?
Oh.
You wanna catch a ball? Good girl.
Yeah, she's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And to be honest, it's a fantastic way to start off the game.
Good girl. Good girl.
Make her howl.
Oh. Alright. Okay. Mhm.
Stand still,
There we
madam.
I think you have to like do it.
It's on the chest, I think, mostly.
Yeah, no, here we go. Oh, I'm getting bad tracking. What's going on? Am I moving my thing to like VR and what the camera can see?
Maybe.
But it maybe or actually. I'll move back a bit.
Yeah, I take a little seat back.
Come on. Why'd you howl?
It's normally on the chest.
I think I know how to make my dog howl, thank you very much.
Clearly don't.
It might be this light coming in as well, might not be great for it. I don't know if you might want to... There we go. No, No, come back!
There we go, there we go. There we go.
No, it's because
Damn it!
I need the... Can you pull the blinds down a bit? Because we're not doing good tracking. We're not being exemplaries of VR tracking here. It's 2021, everyone. Yes, we still have to deal with this stuff.
Yeah, no. Is that better?
PSVR2 cannot get here fast
If
enough.
you come forward?
I come forward.
Yep. Some of you may have seen my tweet about setting up the PlayStation VR. I love PlayStation VR, but what the hell? There's so many wires, so many things to like take into consideration.
Just another year to go, Zeena. Come on, come on, come
There
on.
we go, there we go.
Good girl, good girl. Anyway, we'll move on with the actual game now, shall we? How does anyone put up with smooth turning in these games? I swear, man. It's just... I'm very good with like VR sickness, but it's just the one thing that makes me like straight away.
Opzar asks, how do you mocap a dog? I can just imagine her in a full bodysuit with styrofoam balls on her ears. I think that's pretty much it.
I don't know if they did that with these, to be fair. You can do that, people have done that. This is my cousin. She's going to do something really cool in a second. She's going to do a very cool transition to the game's cutscene.
Take a little peek at her, or no?
Oh. Very stylish game. It's like you can tell it's like a little rough around the edges to look at, but it has style all the same.
Our review is coming out very soon.
It's up.
It's up now?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Our review is on UploadVR.com right now if you just want to read through maybe while we play. We gave it a good.
Good rating.
Which is slap bang in the middle.
Yeah, of our labels-based rating. I thought it was good. I think it's a really fun game. I love how open and versatile the gameplay is. Like I was saying at the start, like the wide level design means you actually get a lot of choice in how you progress.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of bugs. The sword combat isn't great. The enemy AI isn't super good, and it felt like it needed, like all the content's there, but it feels like it needed a bit more time in the oven. Just to iron out some of those bugs and everything like that. So it's a bit of a shame, but I don't know. It's a good effort for sure.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. I love the art.
This man is gorgeous.
I absolutely love the art.
Could you come forward and to the left?
You could do that.
Yeah. Skeever agrees with you, Jamie. He said, oh my god, I know, I've been playing Iron Man VR finally, and I forgot how horrid the tracking is on PSVR.
Yeah.
Iron Man VR, great game.
Yeah, that is like my #1, please remaster that for PS5.
Yeah.
Because I would love to play that game again with no loading and less wires and better tracking for sure.
Yeah.
Rather than like raising my arm up, not even realizing that I've like turned away from the camera and Iron Man's arms just like shoot off into the distance. The cutscenes do go on a little long, I'll say that.
Yeah, Skeever also hopes they port it to PSVR too.
Yeah, that's my #1. My front runner. I mean, I hope everything comes over really. But... And like even like older stuff, like it'd be cool to get like a new version of like PlayStation VR world and stuff with better graphics. That'd be really cool.
What are the sins that happen in these castles?
Are you asking me this? Right? Well, they're named after different sins. So there's like wrath.
Oh, I never even paid attention to that.
Well, I didn't even really super realise. Obviously, it says it in the cutscenes, but you get little models and in your little homeworld hub between missions, and that's where you realise they're all named like that.
Are PSVR 1 games compatible with PS5? Yes, they are. However, not all of them have got updates to be fully optimized.
Yeah, only very few of them, which I think is Blood and Truth and Hitman 3 and Fractal have some updates as well.
Look down a bit. Not all the way down.
Sorry, there's something below you. Alright, that's the first castle. I'm going to skip a lot of the tutorial messages because I know what I'm doing.
Obviously.
I think the game does realise feudal Japan really, really well, but like, again, it's that PSVR thing of if you take this image, you don't get quite the same atmosphere when you're in the world, even though I think it does the best it probably can do with the technology.
When it's playing on the TV, it looks fantastic.
Really?
Yeah. But obviously that's different when it's projecting it on the TV.
Yeah.
Compared to, obviously with the Elgato, it's showing exactly what you see.
And it's worth saying we're on the PS4 right now. I did my review mainly on the PS5, but I wouldn't. There aren't any differences as far as I know. People were saying there's no PS4 Pro differences. So anyway, so yeah, like a nice bit of scale, a nice overall vista, and we're away with Haru.
Yeah, they've gone with quite a like almost like a watercolor kind of look.
Yeah, a little.
Right. Especially with Haru.
Yeah, well, Haru almost looks like she was made in dreams, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's just telling me I can climb things, as you can see.
You're not even grabbing onto the rocks.
What?
You're just grabbing onto like the wall.
Oh my god. Okay, wait.
There are many accidental happenings in this game.
Yeah.
I would say. Accidental, climbing, accidental killing.
So now we've got a hook shot, which anytime you see this symbol, you can shoot yourself over.
I think many people are like massive fans of grapples in VR.
Yeah, it works pretty well. It's like a short, it's like a dash, right?
Yeah, it is.
A good VR dash, I don't know. Come on, girl. Oh, and as you can see, I've got my little sword, which has a proper name that I don't know, as well as the big sword. So here's a first stealth kill. We'll just give him a little. Something like that.
A little tap on the back.
A little. Oh!
Jesus!
And as you can see, yeah, it's a little buggy. Yeah.
I mean, you jumped it as well, to be fair.
Yeah, sure, but I did a jump animation. I didn't just fly over. Alright, here comes some sword combat. So, when an enemy sees you, you get the kind of meter here filling up above. Okay, he's like, okay, what's that? He runs closer. Oh, he's realised it's me. And now we have to block attacks and return once he's blocked. Sorry. Here. This is health. And this is a ladder.
Oh.
Strange foreign concepts in this game. Now, here's one thing. You can tap this stuff to block out light and apparently be more hidden. But having completed the game, that's never really worked for me. Or never been too noticeable for me anyway.
You've never really had to do it because there's at least enough grass to hide in.
Yeah, and I always just seem pretty visible anyway, to be honest. Okay, speaking of hiding in grass, as you can see, as I move in and out of grass, people are invisible. So the game's pretty forgiving in terms of stealth and like, I could even like just run around in this grass, and if someone was standing near me, they wouldn't really see me. They might hear my footsteps when I run, but it's very forgiving in that nature. Okay. And the other thing we can do. Oh, let's see. Oops. Get him, Harry. Yeah, there we go.
Does she ever like just fully kill them?
No, not herself. No.
But does she bring down their life at all?
She distracts them so that you can give them a clip on the head. So then you can also this is really just for like bonuses in the game, but you can get her to dig. Cool. And that gets you some gold. But you don't really use the gold to pay for anything. It's just to unlock bonuses, I think.
Oh, what, like an automatic unlock or?
Yeah, it's like
choose.
I think every level has like free gold hidden in the ground somewhere. And yeah, you use that one. Oh yeah, it's already done. Yep.
But
Okay.
it's there are 6 levels altogether.
Yeah. Well, really 5, and then a final boss.
And you would say 4 out of 5 and 4 out of 6 levels are pretty easy.
Yeah, I would say the first. Yeah, I'd say the first 3 levels didn't present much of a challenge. This is where you spawn, by the way, if you die. You can definitely see the ramp up between every single level in the game. It's just it's not really until it gets to the 4th level that you think, okay, now it's really trying to push me, and you actually see kind of the open level design really like work its magic. But by then it's kind of the problem is a bit that it's a little late, you know.
Yeah.
And you could use them revisiting the other levels with this kind of difficulty. No one seems to care about Haru being here, which is, you know, we let games like Last of Us off the hook for that. So I'll let it off the hook here as well. Yeah. Because it is, it is a dog. You could just look at it and be like, oh, there's a wild dog, but you wouldn't let a wolf get that near to you and be like,
no. Cool. We got Gamer Tag VR in the chat. How are you doing, man?
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see ya. And Get to the Chopper. What is up?
Yo.
How you guys been? Get to the Chopper with his usual jokes.
Not good. You're just not going to repeat them for me.
No. It's someone already made the rash joke up at the beginning of the stream.
You're way behind the time.
Way behind.
Right, these are more little bonus things that you find these trees. About like that. There are like 3 of those in every level as well. And you get trophies every time you get all 3. Okay, so then you get into some more interesting stuff. So you can find other weapons like a shuriken, which, as you can imagine, kills people pretty easily. But I think you can kind of see from that. So you have a limited amount of ammo, let's say. I've got 3 left of those already.
I can't read Japanese, but we've got another person in chat saying hello. Hello, how are you?
Welcome.
I translated it, and it says the actual condition of Taisuki.
Okay. What is the actual condition of Taisuki?
I don't know. But it's a pretty chill game altogether.
Yeah, it doesn't. Like I said, it does start to push you a bit towards the end, but it's very forgiving. It's like if you were to put it next to Hitman. Here's the big thing for me. I got through the first 2 levels, thinking, well, you can be pretty relaxed with this, but obviously there's like a kind of like system where like in Hitman where it's like, oh, you didn't do that well, so you just get like a bad rating. But it doesn't have that, and it like even though I'm pretty sure you could do most, if not all, levels without actually killing anyone but the final boss. There's nothing to recognise that. There's not even trophies for recognising that, which I think is a real shame. Because the game does have the depth to be played in different ways. Yeah. So it would have been really nice to have seen ways to encourage and reward that. not just in terms of like trophies and labels, but just in terms of the difficulty as well, because it's never actually so difficult that you ever feel really, really stuck.
Hmm.
You get like, as you can see, you get away with quite a lot. Give them a little look at the back of the head.
Yeah, ops are chilling, killing.
Basically.
Basically.
Let's put on that YouTube video, like 30 hours of lo-fi.
Yeah. To murder too. Opsara also says in Far Cry you can distract enemies with your cute dog. They pet it while you dispose of them from behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's I'll show you that now. You can kind of do the same thing here with Haru. How do we do that? Can I jump over there? Yeah, like this. So we can get Haru to go over here,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can point at her. No. Go over there, Harry. And then I should be able to point at her. There we go. So now she's in. So he's all like, what's going on? And now I can. Simple as that.
There we go. Game Tag says, this is the first time I've watched and heard someone else playing this game. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? After at least one playthrough, Jamie was at least saying you kind of form all these different ways of getting through a level. Like you said, you can go through without killing anyone, or you can just go through and murder everything that you see.
Like I'm doing something.
Yeah.
And also, like as you can see, it's pretty forgiving with the sound and stuff as well. I just jump down from there right in front of him.
Well, I guess it goes into the whole roleplay thing of you want to be a really cool samurai who's really stealthy and really quiet.
Like other games do that, but still find ways to challenge you, right? Like, what's the game I'm thinking of? Well, again, I go back to Hitman, where it's like, yeah, Hitman wants to capture the whole kind of professional, oh, you did it without anyone even knowing you were there thing. But it's still an immensely challenging game, and it takes a lot of patience to really pull off in that way, right? It feels earned once you finally get there.
Yeah.
Whereas with Arashi, it doesn't quite feel earned all the time. In some senses it does, and in others it's not quite there.
FoxTube's really into the grappling hook.
Yeah, the grappling hook is great. I can't shoot anyone with it right now. Sometimes you can shoot them with it, but I think they have to be up on the platform.
And Get to the Chopper says that they have zero interest in another mediocre VR game. Do you mean this is another mediocre VR game, or...?
I think it's good. I wouldn't say it's mediocre. I think it's good. I actually think the level design, especially later on, is really top class. In terms of, it comes up with interesting new scenarios for you to negotiate. Pretty much, every time you step into a new area.
Yo, we got a new follower or subscriber, Elliot Adams. If you're in the chat, thank you so much.
Thank you, Elliot.
Welcome to the family, son.
My son.
Yeah, and it's just so, it's brimming with style is the thing.
Yeah, I think so, especially as you get onto the later levels. The first two levels are kind of identikit uniform things, but...
yeah,
again, you can just see I'm just tearing through enemies without really thinking about it right now.
Well, Get to the Chopper follows up and says the attacks look like they have no physics to them or weight.
Yeah,
that is a big reason why this wasn't a great.
Yeah, for sure. It's very much... I hate saying this because I say it all the time. It's just wee waggle.
Yeah.
But, having said that, there is a little bit of that to the combat. It's just not quite as fleshed out as you hope.
I'm going to be incredibly vague. What was that other game where you... it might not have been a VR game. Where you had to pretty much memorize sword fighting, people coming at you.
That was Gollum, wasn't it? And I was really struggling with it.
Oh my god, yeah. That's the other, side of the spectrum, I suppose.
Yeah.
In terms of like choreographed fighting, and you have to.
Yeah, he wants to fight me. Let's do a fight.
It's a bit more skillful. But even I played it and I thought it was ridiculous.
Yeah. The thing is, you can have it the other way. You don't have to have the physics thing. You can have it like until you fall, right? Where it's got on-screen indicators to make it very clear at all times. Yeah, this is what you should do. This is how you should block it. This is when you should attack.
Yeah.
But without that kind of information for your set, like in this game, it just feels kind of weird and light.
The FoxTube, I'm really sorry. They said, could this be the first UploadVR review of 2021, which isn't 3 stars? No. Also, we kind of dumped the stars. We're just putting words next to it, so I guess technically, like according to the old review scale, this is 3 stars, but this is just classed as a good. It's a bronze.
Yeah. Technically, it's not. Take that, FoxTube. I will never apologise for my relatively hard to impressness. I've given a lot of good scores this year, though. I gave Floor Plan 2 4 out of 5. I gave Last Naughts 4 out of 5, and I gave Demio 5 out of 5.
Yep.
And I know people disagree with me about Last Naughts, but you know what? They update the game, and now everyone's like, "Oh, great! What a turnaround success story!" And I'm like, "Well, it's been a month. You knew they were going to do that anyway."
Yeah. They disclosed that.
Fools.
Opsar says, don't worry, Metacritic will find a way to quantify your reviews.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of get it. The people that want them, that's cool. I have a much easier time deciding on game rankings when I'm going to just tell you how I feel about it in a word. Rather than trying to be like, well, I gave this game a 2 and I gave this game a 3, but this game doesn't really have that, and if you compare that and that, it doesn't really work. It's so much easier for me to say, oh yeah, this is good, but this didn't really work for me, like it's an okay game.
Well, FoxTube just said Last Naughts is my favourite VR shooter.
Yeah, boy!
There you go.
Yeah, I need to get back into Last Naughts.
Yeah, you do.
I definitely need to try the new update, because I haven't tried that yet. And I just enjoyed that game so much. I genuinely thought it was very underrated by a lot of people. I had so much fun.
It was rare for you to go back into like a multiplayer sort of game.
It's very rare for me
and
to do
keep playing it.
Yeah. I, as a general rule, I'm not big on multiplayer. So, for me, definitely a huge sign. How are we going to get past this dude without Dog, I need your help, please. Wait, now give me a shouty. Oh, back to the so not annoying.
What, the guy all the way up to the right?
No.
You can look at it.
We'll do this.
Someone said, I can't remember who, it was further up the chat, that the shurikens are more forgiving than budget cuts.
Yeah, way more forgiving than budget cuts. Yeah, that's a great observation.
However, earlier today when we were recording some bits, and we're going to have our video review out a little bit later today.
Yeah, we are. Or tomorrow, but yeah.
Or tomorrow. You threw a few that just instantly went into the ground.
But also because they're so forgiving, there is a lot of auto aim to it. And what actually ended up happening on some of them was they would go for the wrong target. Like they would I went from what would have been like a fairly standard ninja style throw to like a really impressive one that like curved around a corner and got a bad guy. And it was like, first of all, I wasn't planning to do that. Second of all, I got seen because of that. So thanks a lot, video game.
FoxTube says, star reviews don't really give a satisfying conclusion to the quality of a game in a lot of cases. Yeah, we agree.
Yeah, it just turns, there's nothing I hate more than seeing the discourse around how I've scored a game at the end of a review, and I know you're never going to avoid that to some extent, but to me, the best way to do right by it is to give some sort of quick indication of what I thought. but not put it in that numeric sense. And you know, it's like everything we've done with the scoring system. We've been fiddling around with it for about 2 years now, and if it doesn't work out, we might change and go back to stars, or you know, potentially speaking, we could. I don't think we will, but we could go back to the 10-point scale afterwards. But this is something personally that I've always wanted to work to. You know, it's not even the final form of what I personally would do, which is to copy. I don't know if you got anyone how that reads Eurogamer, but they basically just have labels for games that are recommended, labels for games that are essential, and then labels for games that are avoid. And if they like a game but it has glaring issues and stuff, and you know it's going to be 50-50 on if someone actually really values the experience, they don't actually label it, and that's their way of saying, you know, in a shorthand way of saying, you know, this might be good for you, it might not, it's not terrible, but we wouldn't necessarily, you know, give it our complete seal of approval. And I've always thought that system worked really, really well. That's why Eurogamer are my favourite publication out there for reviews.
So, Get to the Chopper said something quite interesting. No, very interesting. Not quite interesting. Saying that because the VR gaming kind of sphere is so small, we cover and concentrate on a lot more smaller games than what other publications would with like flat games. So you come across way more like lower quality stuff, but give it way more consideration.
That's very true as well.
It is very true.
I was saying this, you know, like speaking honestly, I would still consider the general quality of VR games out there today to actually still be quite low.
Oh, incredibly low. It's nowhere near what we actually want.
That's fine. We're still learning and stuff.
Yeah. And it's not just because of. It's not just because of developers. It's because of the hardware.
Yeah. It's like at the end of the day, like stuff like haptics is so massively important to the future of VR that, you know, right now we are trying to make these big, engaging physical games with this, you know. The fact that I am just waving my arms through all of this and not getting any feedback to it. And that's, you know, when that comes, that's going to change so many, like, physically driven VR games. Like, stuff like Boombox, it's going to change it overnight at the end of the day. And so it feels like all of this stuff still, even though headsets are getting better and clearer and everything like that, it feels like it's still this kind of, like, early days, early access VR almost, in a sense, you know?
Get to the Chopper, thank you, man. He said, UploadVR give very balanced reviews, and I trust your opinions, to be honest.
Oh.
That's all Jamie. Well, mostly Jamie.
That's what keeps Jamie up at night.
It actually is. Yeah. The amount of times that we finish work or it's the weekend and he just doesn't shut up about the review scale. And he's like, we need to get rid of the stars. Like, it's an actual moral dilemma for him most of the time.
But it's I want to, like, the other side of it is at the end of the day, someone spent 2 years making Arashi, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you want to do it justice. You don't want to be, you don't want to be overly harsh and just dismissive because someone, you know, put their time and effort into it, and you want to try and get on the level of what they were trying to convey and see if they were successful, not just, you know, write it off with a low score straight away or something like that. So it's, you know, it's reviewing games I view as this kind of big responsibility and a strange kind of privilege because, you know, people go through such a stressful time to get everything made.
Yeah.
And that's not to say I should be like I'm forgiving to every game and stuff, but it does mean that I am very insistent on getting to play as much as possible. And really, and actually, like, properly thinking about every game and trying to get to the heart of the given experience.
This is interesting. Also, thank you so much, Skiba. This is interesting. A game cat says that they are hoping Loader Echo 2 delivers. What?
Did you just see that?
No, what happened?
I hit him on the shoulder and he bled and it was like, oh. Okay, died that. Anyway. Loader Echo 2 I had entirely forgotten was coming this month.
Yeah, it's just weirdly quiet, isn't it? It's
I hope my 1080, I hope my graphics card can still run it.
Oh god. I'm sure it'll be okay.
Yeah, no, it'll be okay. Because obviously the thing after this is Fract, which having played quite extensively, I've played the same thing that everyone else has played now. I'm very, very, very hopeful for Fract that it could go beyond a good rating.
Yeah. Get to the Chopper says, I often have been stabbed in the shoulder and just dismissed it too.
Just wipe it off.
Jog it off. FoxTube, agrees that VR quality is nowhere near as good as flat screen quality. It's because we only have the experience of making flat screen games, and this is just in its infancy.
Yeah, it's
progressing very fast because that's the kind of in the kind of technological era that we're in. But it's still a learning curve.
Yep.
Still probably going to take a good 20 years until
sure.
mind-blowing stuff kind of comes out.
Because it's just ridiculous how much we're going to have to or how much people are going to have to figure out to actually get there, right? We're going to have this environment, but in a world where I could pick this up with my sword, or cut through this to make a new exit, or pick one of these weapons up and use them at my will instead, and have all of that, have force feedback and everything. It's still so far off of all of that. And that's fine. These are still fun things to try out and enjoy and play. But it's only very, very rarely right now in the current state of the VR industry do you play something that you're like, this is really getting it down.
FoxTube, I agree, sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
FoxTube says, I think Sony will be the saviour of VR in the end.
Ooh.
I hope so. Oh, I really hope so.
I think for the next couple of years that could well be the case. It depends what Facebook's going to do in push all the other privacy stuff aside. It depends what they're going to do from a content perspective, right? Because I think Lone Echo for me is still far and away Facebook's best exclusive. And I want to see, where their current stable of games and partnerships is going to get them. Are they going to end up having their own Half-Life Alyx at some point?
Yeah. Onikazi makes a great reference to Arrested Development about Maybe's school. This game makes me feel snake worm. Just random things.
I've got lost. This map design has got me feeling random things because I didn't know what I did. This is the first time I've actually got lost in it. Oh, hello. Enjoy your demise. And again, it does get harder. Enemy movesets get more advanced, so you have to read them a bit better. Oh, there you go. That's good. And and they take more hits and stuff. This is going to be our first boss.
Who you hated.
Well, I don't like the boss encounters in the game in general, because
this is cool.
Yeah, this stuff is cool, but
this is so cool.
The actual sword combat is kind of messy.
I made a terrible mistake. Swap and Toggle, I agree. I think the initiative to develop games, both VR and Pancake, simultaneously might help. Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna be
grouping
really cool.
it, isn't it? It's
all of that stuff is gonna be really good, just content to enjoy while we're still developing all the stuff we're talking about here today, right? I wrote an editorial over the weekend that's you're gonna be able to put, potentially you could put Deathloop, let's say, the upcoming arcade game, in VR on on PSVR 2.
The little Jamie squeaks.
And that'll be a fun experience. That'll be a really cool thing to see in 3D and enjoy with motion controls. But it's not going to get you to that level of Boneworks interaction of where you walk in and you're like, oh, this whole world is my oyster. And I can do anything I want with any object and actually really realise this world in fully fleshed out 3D way. But that's not necessarily a problem, because at the end of the day, I still love playing Resident Evil 7 in VR, and that's just a gamepad thing.
Oh, really?
And even Hitman, you know, isn't like the VR integration isn't the best, but it's still really, really fun, and it justifies buying a headset at the end of the day at this day and age, in this stage.
Yeah. Oh, mate!
Mature content warning.
Oh my god. YouTube's just gonna completely
restrict
everything, yeah.
Try to look down.
No, it's fine. Who needs money?
Yes, indeed.
Gets Chopper says, I honestly don't know how you can make a game that is great for both flat version and VR.
Yeah, that's I love that comment because it goes the other way of if you ported Boneworks to that screen, it'd be crap. It'd be awful.
So
there'd
you're
be
just
nothing
like this...
to it at all.
Yeah.
Especially with just a gamepad in hand, right?
Yeah.
So it is going to be a really hard balance to get down.
However,
I think you can have worthwhile experiences in both. I would still recommend people try Resident Evil 7.
Astrobot.
Yeah. But Astrobot is two different games, isn't it?
Yeah, sure, but it translates pretty well between like the PS5 one. You can imagine that being in VR, and
my trouble with imagining that is the DualSense doesn't have the positional tracking the DualShock 4 had, right? And you don't. Yeah, it's like you're going to have these two motion controllers that will track where you are in space, and then, or you could play it on TV where you can't track where your controller is in space.
Yeah.
So I guess you could have both, but you just keep the flat screen controller experience to like a tilt thing, where like you're firing out tight ropes and stuff. You can do it in 3D in VR.
I suppose with the DualSense, isn't the tracking pad meant to be way more precise and?
Yeah, but it doesn't.
I know not about positional, but what if you then translated it to controlling it like almost like a mouse pad instead of like?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like
it could work. It could work.
Yeah.
I think Astro's Playroom was far too much of a success for them to really consider VR for the next one. Unfortunately, I would love nothing more. I would love nothing more than a proper rescue mission sequel, but I think Sony now sees much greater potential beyond VR.
Yeah. No, I think with the new
back.
PlayStation, they'd make another one. If not, like a mini one.
They could do another free packing game. That is for sure.
Yeah, I think with new hardware, there's going to be new Astrobot. I think
got
that.
Me very excited about that. Oh, I can feel an editorial coming on.
You would hope so, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Anyway, we're back out here in our
with your scary cousin.
lovely
No.
hub world. Yeah, with my scary cousin. You want to play ball, don't you? Don't you, little scamp?
You've been murdering. Looks like a melon.
Our foes. Ready?
Shades of Grey Matter thinks that the DualSense works better with its positional tracking than the DualShock 4.
But it doesn't. I could be saying something incredibly wrong here, but it doesn't. It has the the tilt sensors and everything, but it doesn't actually have positional tracking. There's nothing to tell the game where your controller is in 3D space, right? It will detect you doing this, but it wouldn't detect you doing this. You know what I mean? Just like the first VR headsets.
Yeah.
You could look around, but you couldn't actually move around. The early VR headsets that man first encountered. Not 5 years ago.
I honestly thought she was going to be evil.
Yeah, I thought we were going for a race. I wonder why you thought that too.
Put your finger in our eye hole.
Do
it.
Well, she's about to blow smoke all over.
Do it. Oh, there's a little ball in there, isn't there?
That's disgusting.
Ew.
Alright, permit me to skip these cutscenes.
OBS software does 360 and 1080 stream broadcasts now.
Huh?
apparently. But
What do we
I kind of like it better like this because otherwise you have to move it around or.
What's wrong with how we do it?
It's just 1080 like normal, whatever, rather than you can scroll around and through.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah, how cool is that? Good stuff, bro.
Is it Robotnik but
That's what
Japanese?
It was reminding me of. That big dude up there is the big bad.
Opsar just said, "We get it. You vape."
The library.
Shades of Grey Matter says there's a chance the camera on the PSVR 2 headset will be able to see/track the DualSense.
Yeah, I hope so because I would love to have the DualSense involved again for those kinds of experiences that make sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's not from the pictures we've seen of the new motion controllers, they're not emitting any light, right? So and I don't know if we've seen from any like controller teardowns or anything like that, or if the tracking sensor is going to be used in those new controllers is already in the DualSense. So I don't know. We'll see. Here you can pick some weapons and put them in your inventory for the next level. So put those two in, and then also over here. This is what I was talking about. You get little models of beating people. So we beat Pride. There he is. And then it says put them down. It says place your selection on the slot by releasing the T button. When you're, but I don't. You just sort of disappears. So I've not really figured out what's going on there. Anyway, there's Doggo.
Oh.
And away we go.
Into the door.
Level 2. I think now we know how to play the game. Could probably be beating it around the 2-hour mark, but
yeah. Although did you play the penultimate level?
Yeah, but I was doing cinematic gameplay, recording gameplay, not just I know how to peg it to the end of every area. Within
1 hour, so maybe you could cut it down to like 40 minutes for that one.
Yeah, probably.
No, to be
honest with you, I think you could run through every. Don't do this if you buy the game. Actually, enjoy the game, but I think you could run through every area undetected. Well, no, not undetected, but like people chase you and it just wouldn't be that big of a deal.
FoxTube, why is every reviewer I've seen playing this game obsessed with the dog, Jamie?
It's the best dog. It's VR's best dog.
It's an incredible presence to experience.
It's a very fluffy, realistic, convincing, goofy, lovable thing.
Go back to the dog and show the reactive. Like, I don't know if you were here from the beginning, FoxTube.
Look how lovable she is. Oh, it's lovable.
VR's best dog.
Dog. Yeah, help me out.
I've seen speedruns in VR. They get intense.
Oh yeah, I interviewed the Super Hot speedrun.
Yeah, they Opsar said, anyone seen the one for Super Hot?
Yeah, that'd be pretty nice. Come on, dog. Everyone wants to know what's so special.
Yes, it is the Nintendogs of VR. If only there were multiple wolves. Nintendo wolves.
Expect to see that anything too.
Rip.
Oh no.
And just no one apart from that guy.
Yeah, but all he'll do is be like, oh, that was weird. It's not like there's a...
My friend just died.
Yeah, and then
Interesting.
Evaporated in purple smoke. There's not like any alarm system he could raise, bring more enemies in, stuff like that. You know, it's all like once you get to the next area.
I think I may have seen the Half-Life Alex one. Like, don't they just jump through the floors or like find a little bit to clip through, and then they just end up right at the end?
During loading times, he like gets on his knees and like rolls forward and stuff.
yeah.
It's like, what the heck are you doing, man?
That was from like last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a GameStone quick session.
Did they stop support for Google Cardboard? Asked no one ever apart from Matt Farrow. Most probably.
Yeah, you can't. Google doesn't
really do VR.
So, for example, right, like let's just show you an issue here. Like this guy, right? He's seen me. He wants to kill me. All right, but I'll just run into the areas exit. We'll load into the next area, and it'll just be as if nothing had happened, you know. And all that it would take to kind of dissuade that is to just at the end of the level have like, oh, you killed this many people, you were seen this many times,
yeah.
Therefore, you get the rating of not very good at stealth.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't. Communicate.
Foxtube says, I tried speedrunning a VR game. I think it was Boneworks, and I ended up smacking my face into a wall.
Yep,
you know it's not literal, Foxtube.
I think, and the other thing is, so you've got this jump mechanic here. I'll show you what I can do in what I did in one level. It's like you can just actually kind of be like, oh right, the game wants me to navigate past all these enemies and stuff, but it's not going to work right now, but it did work at one point.
Get to the Chopper says, the dog howls loudly after killing enemies when you are trying to be stealthy, though, through a camp. Don't fret though, other enemies just ignore their mate's death cries. The fact that they kind of like just, I don't know, disintegrate, it kind of looks like they aren't real. Like they might be conjured up, maybe. I don't know what the lore is.
There's kind of an element of that to the story, I guess, but not.
Yeah.
The other thing is, it's kind of a shame because like stuff is really, really hard to do, and in VR it's even harder to do because there's so much more to consider about what a player is actually showing in the real world, in the environment they're in. But you know, Sniper Elite did it kind of well, like 2 months ago or a month ago, or whenever that was. So you know, people are starting to figure it out and do an alright. Oh, I'm starting to get out of there. Yeah, give it a shot, man. Who wants to die? Probably me. Oh no.
Opzar says, all of a sudden those padded walls in an insane asylum look enticing.
I know I'm actually doing this. Yeah. Can't even see it. You know,
yeah, sure.
Thank you very much. Alright, we'll give that another shot. It was a bit silly, you see. Loading isn't too bad, but it is a little bit.
With some bits, it went on for ages.
Yeah, but it's never Iron Man VR though. So.
No.
You can let it off. At least some books.
Is the teleportation jumping good? It looks a little weird.
It's not really teleportation because it uses up some of your stamina, just the same as running does. But it is when you say it's a little weird, it's pretty easy to actually use it as like as an exploit, like I was just saying, to get through parts of the level you probably shouldn't. So it is a little weird, and it's kind of, I say in my review, it's kind of like a bit of a get out of jail free card in that you can just die. You can just kind of use it to instantly hop between like bushes and stuff like that, and get out of trouble in an instant.
Yeah.
You know, I can even jump all the way down here, and this is like an active jump, and there's not really any penalty for it. We're gonna go.
Get to the chopper. It sounds like you came here to whinge. You said he swears he didn't mean to come here to whinge, but then proceeded to.
I I didn't realise you could get the poison food this early on.
Oh, this stuff is hilarious.
Yeah,
I couldn't
so
believe that.
I'll try and use this in a second.
I couldn't believe that animation of this when I saw it.
This guy coming back here in a second. So here we go. There's a nice tasty onigiri.
So the first time that Jamie did this, no. No.
Come on. Oh, maybe I can get. Maybe I can get some. Yeah, here we go. This guy will do. He'll suffice.
PSVR, that paroled review said you can just skip the level if you want.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Ready?
You can just run and
Here's the onigiri.
go.
But unfortunately for him, it was poison.
So you can see like the sparks of like a real personality with this,
Yeah,
right?
there's kind of like a little Metal Gear playfulness to it there.
Yeah. It is quite a playful game.
Yeah, it can be for sure. But yeah, I mean, to the parole guy's point, or the parole team. I guess I should just say Brian. When parole reviews it, it's Brian.
Forget the rest of them.
No, because like it's a thing, isn't it? They're like the team.
Do the
when
podcast.
But I think it's just Brian that does the reviews, and then AJ and Dave have their own things for that kind of stuff.
Mm.
But yeah, that's entirely true. You can I'll do it now if you want. I'll show you how to do it. Well, not much to show, but so this is actually a good bit to do it because here's this guy, here's that guy, there's that guy, there's that guy, there's that guy, there's that guy. And it's like, oh, you've all seen me, okay.
Yeah. There we go.
Ow, I did get shot. But yeah, and then just out here. And they can't climb. The dog can climb, I forgot about that. So they're all none the wiser. And that's it, you know. Why really put a lot of effort into getting through that stealthily, especially again without that rating system and stuff at the end of a level to, not punish you for playing the game terribly. What's the point?
Again, it completely depends on your want of like to actually roleplay this.
Yeah, and it's one of the difficult things that comes with like trying to do this big free approach, right?
Hmm.
Oh no, I think I killed him.
So yeah, a couple of times Phantom Covert Ops has been brought up as a comparison with its stealth.
Phantom's way better. I love Phantom. I think Phantom's really, really good.
Yeah, I think it's really nicely polished.
Here's a blowgun. But that just kind of stuns him, so it's a bit like, well, why was that?
Yeah.
Also, I am charging around because I know the levels. I've played each of them like once or 2 or 3 times by this point. Some of them once.
I'm really sorry to say, but I think it's my toilet break time.
Oh,
I keep doing it during streams. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I'll be right back.
There is no rush.
Shortly.
Myself and the people will hang out. There you go, little shuriken in the face. But yeah, you can see I'm just like charging through the grass. And I know, like, you can summon that kind of way you see people like instantly, so there's a small cooldown on it, but it's really not much of an issue. This is a kind of area where you're like, oh, well, I can't kill one of them without the other one seeing, so we can take Harrow behind, and we can get Harrow to call out. And once this guy's turned his head, he kind of threw this. But yeah, then like he didn't hear him being killed, so that's kind of easy to get through it, really. What are we doing, people? I would read your comments, but that would mean I can't play the game anymore. Anyway, Zeena's, I can hear that Zeena's on her way back, so comments will be read again in a second. Right. towards a destruction at the moment, but we can go and stop that one time.
Now we go.
This is one of the kind of...
Gets to the chopper and goes, Jamie, why won't you respond to me?
I can't see you, dude.
Yes, Paradise DK. I went off to put the T on.
Yeah, that was it, right? Let's put a poisoned rice right here. Again, they don't question that just got thrown out. They're like, oh, okay.
Ooh. That's so funny.
Much respect to you, my friend.
Whoa. They just see like a bit of food roll out onto the floor.
I'm back to followed by some people. But I've got these gas grenades now, so hello.
Oh, alright.
Yeah,
Jeez. Hey Venza, how you doing? Just joined. How is the game? The game is good. Which is what
That's
we
the
reviewed it
official
as.
word.
It is good. It's got plenty of style. The combat, however, leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, and it's just it's got some bugs and stuff that kind of let it down, but yeah, and the combat's not great. But the sneaking is fun. Little too easy, but it's fun. Get a lot of player choice in there. You can really play the way you would play. This is actually one of my favourite examples of that, actually, in the game, I think. So, no, don't go over there. Oh, actually, do go over there. And then do a little...
Oh.
He's like, what's going on?
I agree with you. Get to the chopper. I also have zero understanding or interest in cryptocurrency.
Oh god. So yeah, like I could, if I wanted to, I could run all the way up here and fight these guys. Or I think there's a path around there as well. But the other thing you can do is just use hook shots.
We believe it's true that this is not PS Pro enhanced.
Yeah, that's what people keep saying on Reddit and whatnot. So I assume that yes.
Because yeah, we haven't had any word on it. Zeena, would Jamie get the How's Wolfie reference? No.
Like the ITV show Gladiators?
What?
There was a gladiator called Wolfie back in the day.
You know what? Knowing Paradise DK, you did probably mean that.
I think he probably did. If he says yeah, I'm going to be so happy with myself. If he says no, well.
Terminator 2? Asks Boy Brown.
Oh, well, that doesn't make sense from Chopper.
No, it's from Paradise DK.
Oh, sorry. Oh, then definitely not. I have no idea. No, don't worry about that.
No, Terminator, his dog, it's called Wolfie.
I'm surprised that didn't come from Chopper.
Yeah, true that.
Alright, let's gas him. You've been gassed.
Gas him,
So
boy!
that just makes him cough a little bit.
Oh, it distracts him. Right.
Yeah.
Did he die? I don't think he died, you just sliced him a bit.
What? Why is this happening? This didn't used to happen.
You took him a few times.
Have they like patched the game like in the last 5 minutes? Logan.
So we are about an hour into this and you are like halfway through the second.
Yeah, I'm a bit more than halfway through, I would say. The
Yeah,
second
so
level of the whole game.
we are about halfway through the game, aren't we?
No, we're about...
You said about 5.
There's 5 levels, so if you're 1.5
Oh wait, yeah.
in...
You need one more level's worth, I suppose.
Yeah. But having said that, the later 2 levels are longer as well.
Hmm.
But then the game kind of end ends kind of abruptly from there.
Matt Farrow, thank you for joining us. It's been lovely having you here.
Thank you, Matthew.
I hope your wife is okay.
So do I.
And yourself. Take care.
Oh, he's got a little confused. Let's gas then. How does it feel?
Hopefully most of these later stage PSVR games get updated releases on PSVR 2. Yeah, I hope so, otherwise it's just kind of it's kind of sad being end of life game.
I definitely think that will happen for Prime. So I really hope it will happen for Prime. It would make so much sense to bring that new headset as soon as that. I just think, like, in this weird way, right? Like PSVR 2 could have like almost like the best launch lineup of almost any PlayStation thing ever, just in terms of
Astrobot.
Well, just in terms of you can have all your old games, but they're going to be upgraded dramatically in a lot of cases, right?
If it's marketed properly, then it could be like massive.
Yeah, imagine like day one you can go and play like the proper PCVR level version of Job Simulator, Arizona Sunshine, Super Hot, Beat Saber, Walking Dead, everything like that, and that's just before we're even getting to content that hasn't actually come to PlayStation yet. And then this wrapped, all of that stuff could have a massive impact on their day one lineup. Oh, he got me! Well done to you, sir.
Great. Second time you've been killed?
Yeah, although I'm being a little... I've got my impatient sweater on.
Okay.
Let me once again demonstrate the running, because otherwise Sarah gets overlooked.
Boy Brown asks, is having shinier graphics gonna make a lot of games better though? Loads will need big gameplay reworking. Will devs do that, and will they get the return? That is a great question.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see it from every developer. But I will say, like, when you say big gameplay overhauls, a lot of that will just be in... For some of these games, will be in the tracking quality, right? Like,
yeah, I suppose
it's not
so.
just shinier graphics, it's the fact that you could play some of these games with the tracking that you get to enjoy on PC for the first time, or on Quest for the first time, potentially, if the tracking's good. Which is a huge bonus. Because, there are, like, at the end of the day, like, PSVR is the worst way to play Super Hot, because it's quite possible to lean out of boundaries and mess your runner and everything like that.
Yeah, although saying, just shinier graphics, like, PSVR is currently just so far behind current gen VR.
Yeah.
To upgrade it at least to the same level as, some PC VR headsets or Quest 2 is a massive bonus for many people.
In terms of the resolution?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Paradise EK asks, which sequels would we like to see on PSVR 2? Because he is hoping for Rush of Blood 2. That would be fun.
Yeah. It's a shame they didn't do more with that, for sure. Rush of Blood 2 would be great.
Battlezone 2.
Sure. I really want to see Iron Man 2.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That is a thing that could possibly happen, and I would love to see. Well, I think Blood and Truth 2 has to happen as well, right? I think they were too successful with that.
Oh god, yeah.
Not to revisit it.
PSVR Worlds 2.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think that'd be cool. But...
Yeah. And also Vensa, just a quick question, asks, would you recommend buying this or should we wait?
I would probably say wait, give it a couple of weeks, couple of months, see if they're able to iron out some more of the bugs, and improve the gameplay. Because if they can, Like, even if you bought it now, I think you probably would enjoy it, but if you can wait, there's a chance you'll get a better experience in a couple of weeks' time. Oh.
Vincent also says Resident Evil 8, which is something that you've been really wanting.
Yeah. Resident Evil 8 and Gran Turismo 7, if they had those at the launch of PSVR...
Oh my gosh, Gran Turismo, yeah.
Gran Turismo will be... If they get it right this time and don't botch it like they did with Sport, Gran Turismo would be huge in VR.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love a good racing game.
Yeah, and when it comes to good racing games, you don't get much better.
No.
Although it's hard, it's very, very hard.
They need some more feeder in it.
An obscure joke.
Well, it's how everyone found out about feeder.
It was that one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is it Tuesday? Man, this
Yeah.
week is slow.
Yeah, it is a bit slow, but I'm quite enjoying the slowness of it, I suppose. Last week was pretty fast and it was pretty hardcore. Fast.
Oh. What a vast
Astrobot
week
2, yeah, no, it's definitely a given Paradise
yeah,
DK.
Has to be. I mean, if we are talking standard games as well, then there's loads of stuff I want to see. If this counts, I really am holding out hopes that EA is going to have support for VR in the Dead Space remake.
Oh, great shout. And also, think about it. Jesus. There might be many more games with VR support.
Oh no, this was a bad idea.
Leg it.
Take blowgun!
Many more games with VR support than we didn't expect to have. Opsar asks, is Gran Turismo still big nowadays? Maybe, I think so.
It's been a long time since we've had a numbered Gran Turismo game.
It's been more Forza, right?
Yeah, they've done like 60 of those while we've waited for a proper numbered Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo Sport was the only PS4 era Gran Turismo, apart from the fact that they're bringing 7 to PS4 as well. So that's like 10 years it's been since 6, basically.
Yeah. Wipeout Definitive Collection on PSVR 2, all the games and levels.
I would love another Wipeout collection for VR. That would be amazing. That's still one of my all-time favorite VR experiences, let alone PSVR experiences. Alright, here's boss number 2.
Is it? Is it Robotnik?
Oh yeah, it's Robotnik. Best made Robotnik.
All of these animals that I have trapped within machinery. They've escaped, but you shan't. I know Japanese. There's been some big comments. I'm finding it hard to concentrate. Like, oh, far away. Opsar, any platformer could be easily ported / enhanced for VR. Yes, but also no. Yeah, but also no.
Why no?
Because, for example, if you took the current Astrobot for PS5, you would want to rework a lot of it, so then you have more of the launching things out and way more interactive things.
Tiny tap of the sword. Oh, no,
okay. Ooh. You'd still have to rework some levels. It would have to be different in some ways.
Yeah.
For it to be good, right?
Sure. Yeah, and it's the same kind of thing. Like Tekken 7 had a mode where you could play the training in VR. Like, it wasn't very good though.
Yeah.
You gotta have a level 4.
Don't even get us started on Smash Bros.
I was about to say, think of all the Nintendo support they put in. It's just like technically some of that stuff is like dream level VR, but
yeah, exactly. But
it
was just awful.
Rubbish.
What about Insomniac making a VR tie-in to Marvel Spider-Man? Yeah, that's something that we brought up in last week's Gamescast, which is live every Thursday, 5 PM BST. Join us this week. We've actually got a giveaway for this week's Gamescast.
Oh, I forgot that one.
For Disc Ninja. That's the name, isn't it? I don't want to get it
Yeah,
wrong.
So you can win that on Quest, right?
Yes, we've got a bunch of quests. I'm just having a little look-see.
What time are we on, Z?
It's 6:15. So we've been going for an hour and 15. Another 15 minutes?
About 15 minutes. We'll get into the third level, but we won't show it all. Otherwise, we would have shown literally half again.
Yeah, true.
So, you really want to know whether you should buy the game now or not. You know, you've got half of it on.
Yeah, exactly.
In a video.
Look down a tiny bit.
Oh, look. Quite you. Out of the way.
You've got a fat belly. What the hell?
What, the dog?
Yeah, look.
Even
Gee. Down a bit.
Yeah.
I love this transition.
Yeah, I think this is really cool. But I am going to skip the cutscene because again, we'll let people discover all that stuff for themselves. Tomorrow,
Yep.
we're planning to stream Township Tale, maybe?
Yeah, are people into watching Township Town, watching Jamie and I?
Just so I can actually play enough of it to finally review it rather than
Yeah. Watching me and
my
Jamie
lack of success.
build up our town.
Well, I was thinking about maybe potentially bringing Ian in on it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
If he's up for it.
If you guys are into that jam. If not, obviously, let us know which kind of games you're vibing at the mo. And we can give it a go.
Yeah.
We normally do it on a kind of review basis of need to play more or it's just out.
Yeah.
Sort of fine.
Okay, so this is level 3. Which is nice because it takes place in kind of early evening, so we kind of get away from the very, very dark vibe we've got from the first 2 levels. Sorry, power. Who's dead?
Cool, Shades of Grey. Thank you so much for joining. And I hope you enjoy the game when you get it. Have a good day.
Shades of Grey. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you, as always. Make sure to drop by for the podcast on Thursday.
Yeah. You better.
Podcast.
Stormlands 2 would be cool, yeah.
Yeah, it would be cool. I think Insomniac owns the IP, but I don't think, unless Sony did a port of the first one, I don't think they'd be like, please make a sequel to the Facebook game. You know, oh, that goes. Oh, no. Oh, no. Fight.
Can't you just constantly send Haru to, like, grab them?
They have a little cooldown, and when you're in combat, it doesn't work.
Oh, that's a shame.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
you got me belly!
Right in the belly. 4.2 would be amazing as well. Yeah, but obviously...
Yeah, you have to wonder if that's one of the studios that Sony's working with for like a native game. That would be good. That would be very, very good. I mean, I want Larcenauts.
It depends on Larcenauts, yeah. It completely depends on Larcenauts.
Yeah, but there are Larcenauts now is at that stage where they're going to have a team working on those extra contents and and everything like that, and obviously that will take a Herculean amount of effort. But
so back when Larcenauts was our UploadVR upload access title, we have we put out a few interviews with them, and they touched on Farpoint 2 a little bit, didn't they?
They said they're like very proud of what they did with Larcenauts, and they, in that kind of knowing way, said it's like definitely something that would be cool to expand on. And you know, speaking purely speculatively in that sort of, there's probably plans somewhere in a pipeline sort of way, but nothing you can officially comment on right now.
Yeah, you should check out the Impulse Gear interview. I really loved editing it. It was really fun.
Let's get married. Sorry, I can't run over to you. Oh, why is my sword going out my head?
Yeah, we'll wrap up in a sec.
Yeah, I can stop there. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I've fallen down into this river, so that's a good place to leave it.
Okay, cool. So that was our kind of halfway point of Arashi Castles of Sin. Out today, I think for about $30.
$30.
I want to have this $30. Join us tomorrow for A Township Tale, and on Thursday we've got our games cast, which we talk through each of the games that have been come out during the week and the biggest gaming news. But yeah, it's been a blast. Thank you everyone who's joined in, and we shall see you. What are you doing? I was like, what is that, like flashing like colour in the back?
Simpsons reference.
Anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.